Investigation. Anti-addiction specialists are calling on the head of the Food and Drug Administration to step down. They argue the FDA's approval of controversial drugs have added to the nationwide epidemic of painkiller abuse. KCRA3's Claire Dewan tells us how bad the problem is for California.
KCRA3 has learned rampant use of painkillers such as Vicodin and Oxycontin have fueled growing problems with drug abuse and theft. And 20% of those seeking drug treatment with the Sacramento County abuse painkillers.
Davis is no different than Granite Bay, Carmichael, Fair Oaks, Folsom, Citrus Heights, Orangeville, South Sacramento.
Drug addiction specialist John Daly says areas in the Sacramento region and across the state are plagued by a problem of powerful painkillers. The use itself is staggering. According to numbers KCRA3 obtained for the last fiscal year, more than 3 million prescriptions were filled for oxycodone, more than 15 million for hydrocodone.
But it sometimes takes away other kinds of feelings, so that if you're unhappy, if you're in pain, if you don't feel right, you take one of these pills, or sometimes multiple pills, and you feel better.
But in some cases, clinicians say painkillers can cause addiction, overdose, and death. That's why some groups are calling on FDA Commissioner Margaret Hamburg to step down. That's after the agency approved a new drug called Zohydro, a pure form of hydrocodone.
Now that we're going to get rubber stamp approval on a drug that is more potent, more addicting than Oxycontin ever was, that raises concern.
And that addiction fuels crime. KCRA3 obtained state figures on how controlled substances are stolen. Employee theft jumped in 2012 and dropped slightly to 370,000 pills in 2013, with 5 CVS pharmacies and Costco now being audited by the DEA. Night break-ins dropped in 2012, but jumped all the way to nearly 700,000 pills last year. Drugs lost in transit, with whole truckloads often stolen, saw the highest jump to 1.6 million pills.
In the last year and a half, I know of at least 6 deaths from opiate overdoses within 30 miles of where we're sitting right now in Sacramento.
And some argue a more potent form of hydrocodone would make addiction more dangerous. The California Poison Control Center tells us it already receives an average of 33,000 calls every year for painkillers. That includes hydrocodone.
Addicts are determined, and when they're in their pathological relationship to intoxication and they don't have their drug, their mind is only organized on getting high.
More than 60 products with hydrocodone will be reclassified. Patients will no longer be able to get their prescriptions automatically renewed. But when that happens on October 6th, the California Board of Pharmacy expects more thefts and robberies because the pills will be harder to get. Claire Dewan, KCRA3 News.
The controversial drug Zohydro has been on the market since March. Commissioner Hamburg has defended the drug's approval, saying 100 million Americans suffer from chronic pain.
And from that, we want to cover the